Hey up YouTube, what's going on and welcome back to Sheffield United, where it's been largely good fortune since we last met. A couple of missteps along the way. Following our 5-0 victory at Vojvodina in the Europa League, our first ever Europa League match, we followed up with Fulham beating them 2-0 away from home, Fulham putting in the performance that very much belied their incredibly passive and wasteful nature. I've never seen a dot so far in that bottom left-hand corner on that analysis graph so far in this game. It's impressive how passive and wasteful they are. Followed up with a baffling 2-2 draw with Watford in the Carabao Cup, where we progressed on penalties. We were very much XG'd out of that one. They shouldn't have scored 2. We should have scored about 4. Particularly annoying as I put chance conversion on literally the day before that as well. Man United beat us 2-0. Super efficient on their part. Should have been more than 2-0, and Xhaka well worth his 7.5 in goal for that one. Then Basel happened. I did put this one on Twitter. 7-2 in the end. It was 5-2 after 25 minutes. I feel so sorry for the fictional BBC employee who had to keep up with the live feed on that one in those first 25 minutes. Thankfully, it calmed down after that. Clado with 2, McBurney with 2, and Mousset with 3. Dominic Calvert-Lewin made a 90 and 91st minute comeback against Norwich. Again, deserved. It was a deserved victory in the end, but dear Lord, Norwich scored with basically their only shot on target. I think they had a couple more after about 60 minutes, but they only had one shot full stop in the first hour or so, and it was their goal. But Calvert-Lewin, 2 goals, 90th minute, 91st minute. Absolute saviour. Beat last 4-0. Palace was 2-2. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with 2 goals in 2 minutes again, just slightly earlier in the match this time round. 2 wonder goals on their part. That's the one. Kind of threw that one away a little bit, but 2 wonder goals, can't really do much about that. Forgot to take Aaron Ramsdale out of goal for that one after playing the Europa League match. Might regret that one. And 2-1 over Chelsea in the Carabao. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with a late winner. Again, you can sense a pattern here. But now we play Chelsea again away from home, this time in the league, where we are 8th with 19 points. Still got game in hand on the ones above us, of course. Arsenal with 8 games played. I don't know how they managed that. Dominic Calvert-Lewin second in the top goal scorers with 12 goals. His XG is less than 5. He's expected to score about 5 goals. He's scored 12. Haaland, by the way, expected to score 9 or 10. His XG is 9.5. Scored 14. So he's outdoing his XG, but by nowhere near the margin that Calvert-Lewin is. Slanky's third, because Football Manager. I have not seen that many things on one of these pages yet. So for this one, we've got Xhaka in goal, Sale at left back, Badiashile and Fofana in the defensive roles. John Egan's taken a fairly hefty injury. Fofana versus Egan was a bit of a shout. Egan had very good form in the first few matches, and obviously Fofana sent off. So Egan did become first choice for a little bit, and then he got injured. So Fofana's back to prove himself. Cassera at right back, Burge and Hendricks in the middle for this one. Gagliardini's taken an injury, and he's still not fully fit. Sayed I'm allowing for this one just because he's good for 75. It actually tells me that. When it doesn't tell me the number of minutes a player can do, I tend to just leave it be. Jones on the left-hand side, Maddison behind the striker, Clado on the right, whose form is very good at this moment. Jones is just very solid, and Maddison's form's not been great. I'm trying to work out how to get the best out of James Maddison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Well, first name on the team sheet, I'll just say that. Badiashile or Calvert-Lewin. I can't work out which one I put down first. Frank's still in charge here, of course, because they won the Premier League last year. I completely forgot about that fact. I thought they'd rotated against me. Timo Werner must just be injured. Tammy Abraham is actually the captain, I now realise. Also playing Kepa with Willy Caballero on the bench, so I can only assume Mendy's injured in some shape or form. Havertz not starting. Jorginho not starting. Well, they acquired Eric Garcia off Man City, of course. Unsettled at Man City. Chelsea are the ones to snap him up. I had a punt at it. He had no interest. I love the fact it gave me the option to say, nobody gives us a chance today, considering the fact literally 3 days ago we beat them 2-1. And whilst I love the additional questions about playing teams twice in a week, a little bit overkill, ask me in every single press conference between, well, this entire week, basically. I just realised our form is quite good. Obviously losing to Man United a little while ago, but our last 5 matches, I know it says 6, but our last 5 matches, win, 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 draw, win. That's not too shabby. Bournemouth and Watford's return to the Premier League hasn't been sensational so far, I will say that. They are 19th and 20th. Norwich doing slightly better at this point, but it is early days and we'll see how this all unfolds going forward. I'll pop that onto body language whilst I remember. I want to say, actually, the Chelsea victory midweek in the Carabao was one of the most even games I've seen in terms of chances and XG. Because the number of shots on target was quite dramatically different. They had 10 shots on target, we had 4, but the XG for both sides was about 1.5, as Kovacic puts that goal in. I did question the fact that Jorginho wasn't starting. It was Kovacic the one I was confused about starting over Jorginho, but repaid him there. Frank clearly knows what his team is. Going to see it with lines. He's clearly onside, otherwise it wouldn't have counted at this point. Yeah, just breaks free and pops it in. Not really. I'm not sure I appreciate how easy that was for him there. The first 10 matches of the season, we have played Arsenal, Manchester United and Chelsea away now. So 3 of the big boys all away quite early on in the season is beneficial maybe in terms of the long term, because then we have to face them at home in the second half, I suppose. Show me something else in the second half. Sayed's demotivated. There we are, turned him around. Some of them inspired, some of them motivated. Jarrett just solidly composed. Oh, I have changed the box-to-box to just a ball-winning midfielder, by the way. I am contemplating going box-to-box and ball winner in that middle with the attacking playmaker, because I don't know what to do with that attacking playmaker role. I am very much considering just going 2 strikers at some point, as, well, that's super unfortunate. There's been 2 or 3 goals that have been like that, where the slide tackles just rolled into the striker's path. I mean, we've benefited from that once as well, but about 2 or 3 times it's gone against us so far. But yeah, Corona there, I mean, actually, it was a good through ball in the first place, but Fofana's touch actually just takes it beyond the other defender, and Abraham's there to pounce. But Junior with an opportunity to lob this one in. I will use Junior and Casero almost interchangeably. Apologies, just try to keep up. Casero, Calvert-Lewin's on the edge of the box. Jones is there. Oh, dear Lord, he's smashed that one in. Like I said earlier, there's players in this squad now that I just expect things from, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is one of those players. Like, when he gets the ball in that position, I'm expecting him just to do a little movement and then smack it in every time. He was a little bit far away that time, a little bit too many players in his path. The assist provider there, though, as that will pick up probably both Calvert-Lewin and Jones's ratings. It does. Both of them pop onto 6.9s. Madison on a 6.4. I might have to get individual with his instructions just to tell him to play in a certain way that will hopefully capitalise on his strengths. That was surprisingly easy. 70 minutes gone, we just need to find a little something. Casero on a 6.2, his status as a complete wingback is popped down a star. I don't know if there's other people doing better. Klasnic was only good for 75 actually, so we'll bring Ender Stevens on as well. I might make all 3 changes, but I'm tempted just to leave that last one. Jones looking a bit tired. This is a situation, you've got 2 players playing poorly and one who's quite knackered. Who do you take off? So I'll probably just leave that for 10 minutes. In a move that even I was a little bit surprised by, I have decided to bring Ollie McBurney on a left wing. I could swap him over with Madison actually, but Ollie McBurney has, in the games he's played, see this is what I mean, Calvert-Lewin's just nipped onto that ball there. He's gone a little bit wide now, but I was expecting, Jones has scored 2, I can't take him off. Kante gave away the ball in perhaps the most baffling chain of events you'll see with the Chelsea player there. Kante gave away the ball. Kante! Anyway, Jones pops that one in. Great providing, I know you said there, but technically that does work as a sentence. No, I cannot make that change because Jones has scored 2 now. Ollie McBurney comes on for James Maddison for the last 5 minutes and swaps to a shadow striker role. We have a late corner. I've told them to do these short now. Did I say that? Yeah, I've told them to do short because they just weren't working. Like all set pieces, and well, this one's nearly provided a goal, although that doesn't seem like the end of this highlight. Kepa, for a second there, I did consider the fact that Kepa might have been about to smack that against Calvert-Lewin. I want to put it past him. I don't know how accurate the Kepa in game is. Although Calvert-Lewin on the ball, see, I'm expecting things I've expected correctly. And oh my lord, we come back against Chelsea away from home again. It's like we're just testing Chelsea at this point. We came back from 1-0 down in the Carabao, and now we've let them score 2 in this game and come back 3-2. It's like we're toying with them. Still 2 minutes to go, anything could happen, but Calvert-Lewin gets on the ball, in space, runs into the box, scores a goal. See what I mean though? When he gets the ball in a dangerous position, I'm just expecting good things from him. And it's so nice to have a player like that at your disposal as we win this game 3-2. I'll be honest, wasn't expecting that at 2-0. Did we equalise basically straight after their 2-0? I didn't realise that 2-1 was so close to their 2-0. So Calvert-Lewin 2 assists and 1 goal. Not just content with scoring basically every match now. Nobody gave us a chance, despite the fact we came back against them in midweek, as we beat last year's champions 3-2 away from home. Sorry. Okay, Newcastle acquired the young Luis Suarez. Just had to check. Pops us into 4th for the time being, and with a game in hand, 25 points. If we win the game in hand, 25 points would take us top. As we make the trip to Austria, I want to say. Yeah, as we make the trip to Austria in midweek here, off the back of beating Chelsea, that's going to be riding high, being 4-0 at home. We'll see what we are. Only an A-, so I was on a B before that. The board say they're disappointed with Junior Cacero's recent matches, and you've got to be said, started brightly, popped off a little bit, in a bad way. Just telling him I've got a little bit of faith, he'll, recover his form, and that should be the end of that. We actually did have the better of the XG in that match. According to that, it should have only been 0.8 and 1.5. 3-2. Both of us overperformed there. Now, one thing I do like about these Europa League games is the fact it does allow me to play those players who normally wouldn't really get a look in, particularly in this group stage, which seems to be going to plan so far. Calvert-Lewin wins Player of the Month and the English international despite not being called up in the last international window. Aaron Ramsdale was, despite the fact he's my second goalkeeper now, but whatever, has been in lethal form. 16 goals in 14 appearances. One thing I should say in regards to the Premier League is, despite the fact I've increased the wage budget this year for Sheffield United by about £400,000, which is 50% higher than it was in year one, we're still 15th in the spending wage-wise, at 1.2 million a week. 15th. Just saying. It did this on my Napoli save as well. To fill the vacant recruitment analyst spot, they're suggesting my performance analyst, who is admittedly better as a recruitment analyst. Oh, before we go into this match, I do want to show you one result from elsewhere, and that is, that's a banging match, 4-3 there. Rangers absolutely blowing that lead. This one here at the bottom, Apoel versus Atletico Madrid. The Cypriot club nearly with an historic victory there, 92nd minute equaliser. Like I say, I like to pay attention to the Cypriot clubs, and boy were they so close to history there. Imagine that though, imagine that. Anyway, everyone unregistered for this, can't even be on the bench. So for this, we've got Ramsdale in goal, Stevens, Helander, Fofana, Smith at right back, Norwood and Gagliardini using this to get his fitness. Brewster, McBurney and Edwards with Musset up front, so heavy changes for this, as this will give us 12 points if we win, so kinda crucial we win it. But at the same time, we've played a lot of games, and a lot of players are quite tired. I appreciate they have a player just called Richard. Presumably that player is just called Yano. I'm going to assume it's pronounced that way, because it sounds better. Oh, who's that player? Yano. Yeah, Yano. And away we go here in Austria. Edwards with an early corner, doesn't opt for the short one, but Helander's there to pop that in instead, so I'll go with Marcus Edwards' decision there. Helander with the header. But yeah, Edwards just completely ignores the short option as he's been instructed to do. And we score a goal in the first minute. There's an entire section without any players in behind this goal. The rest of the stadium's filled. Well, I say filled. There's a few people. As they've gone with the very traditional 4-2-2 narrow. I dare say there might be a bit of space on those wings as we go forward with our overlapping fullbacks. Although that said, not a lot happening in the game. We've racked up an XG of 1, but that's about it. And they've done basically nothing. The ball must have drifted towards our goal at one point, and that seems to be about it. Yeah, keep going. I will say the keep it up instruction at halftime seems to be a little bit better this year. Rather than automatically making your players complacent, it does seem to actually inspire them, which is an emotion it didn't really do before as far as we could tell. Brewster goes close, but it actually provides a positive body language that actually is useful in this year's game. So that's a nice little change, I think. Well, it feels like a change anyway. Gagliardini probably won't play the full game. If we get a second, it'll make my life a little bit easier when it comes to taking off those at-risk players. But let's be real, the rest of the team is largely second string, so that was easily dispossessed from Adam Smith. And Rocher passes it back to Siddiqui and isn't going to get that ball back once more in one of the more ambitious 1-2s I've ever seen. And Brewster just says sod it and smashes it in from the corner of the box. Is it Edwards the assist? Edwards is the assist because, wow, what a ball that was in the first place. Brewster just drifts past the right back as if he's not even there. Hits it high and towards goal, as the text said at the bottom. Ironically, the one player they do have out there to deal with wide players just basically didn't exist there, which I suppose is helpful. 66 minutes gone, Gagliardini doing well, but probably about time we take him off. Or is it going to bring James Maddison on? I just feel like this is the kind of game where, half an hour to go, James Maddison, that little bit of quality, might be able to just do something himself, just to give himself that little bit of confidence, as Helander is agonisingly close there. Just maybe get an assist or even a goal of his own would be quite nice, just to get him going. Just because I'm going to get asked why I didn't take Musset off despite the fact he's on a 6.2, I'm bringing Calvert-Lewin on for like 3 minutes. That's more just to save my sanity than anything else. Simple, efficient 2-0 victory, which was basically a 2-0 victory on paper as well, looking at those stats. Other than lads, good win. Let's move on. Great goal by Brewster. And that's surely got to seal our way through now. Right, 2 games to go. The best Lask can do is 9 points, so we're definitely through to the second round. I'll be honest, these press conferences sometimes ask about technology and providing the correct result, even though, as far as I can tell in the match, it was never used. But it's great that it's provided the correct result. We're back to a B. How? How have we gone back to a B after winning away in Europe? All that's been added is another victory. Please explain that one to me. So that looks like a very nice run of form now following the Man United loss. Let's be real here. We've lost to Chelsea in the Community Shield. Who cares? We've lost to Liverpool 3-2. Fair enough. We've lost to Man United 2-0 at Old Trafford. Fair enough. The rest of the season has gone sensationally. Oh, speaking of Man United, Carabao Cup quarter-final. We'll probably do that at Man City. I'll see you for those. Until then, thank you for watching. Oh, actually, before I go, I've just realised in neither of the 2 episodes this week so far, I've mentioned the schedule from going forward. Mondays, Wednesdays, 7:30pm on Twitch. The Glory Hunter will continue. Currently with Napoli, of course, in the first season. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 4pm, Sheffield United episodes. And Friday will either be a Glory Hunter episode catching you up either with at the beginning of a season or an end of a season, including any end-of-season trophy situations, or it'll be a Sheffield United episode if I don't have anything for Glory Hunter to talk about. Okay, now it's Terrell. Thank you.